Hello and welcome to another episode of The Last 7, a new law-based podcast and not so philosophical wax regarding the last 7 days. I'm your host Dan Rowley, with me today, Kenneth Trainer.
Hello everyone.
And Antonio Romola.
Hiya.
The enigma, the what's the opposite of polymath?
Monomath?
Yeah,
Unimath?
you can do, unimath. You do one thing brilliantly, which is entertainment. You right?
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
Excellent.
I'm good. Where's the fourth guy?
Oh, right. We'll dive right into it. So,
Where's Mr. C?
any nominations?
Where is he?
Right. Oh, don't. There might be other candidates. So we'll leap straight in with cunts of the week. So I'm gonna go Justin. Tone, any cunts of the week?
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to go.
Bearing
with
in
Justin.
mind, there's still plenty of evil people around. There's still the Yorkshire Ripper, still Robert Mugabe.
Still plenty of paedophiles out there, but
Yeah, loads of them.
I'm gonna go with Justin
Savile
today.
Inquiry again this year, and another report
Well, there's
coming
those
out in May.
things, yeah, the police being interviewed and
Yeah,
about the Westminster
that's right. Yeah.
pedo ring.
That's right, yeah. Thinking that high-profile crimes, sex crimes,
Yeah.
were just sort of brushed away. Big part of the news this week. But back to the matter in hand. Ken, are you going to go for any of those evil people, or should we... What's your decision?
Yeah, I might do because I was having to think about this and I think it's time Justin got some love.
Ah,
I think let's
yeah, it's still 2 against 1 though, Ken. So,
Yeah, that is 2 against
he's
1.
Still,
yeah.
It is, but
Still
I
good.
don't know. I was just curious about. We should maybe show him some love and sort of wait up. Like a what's it called? Decisional balance.
Understand.
Let's do that. Because like Tone, if I was to ask you, what do you love about Justin? What would you say?
right now, I'd say nothing.
I love that he's not here so that we can easily get onto cunt of the week and then just get this whole cast going. We'll get to comic relief in a minute. He did, as far as I know, fuck all towards that.
You think he'd get into that as well? Of all the things, you think comic relief would be his?
Oh, he's probably got a red nose, or they've got glasses now, haven't they?
That's the drinking, that is.
Got red glasses.
In Oxfam, they had so many.
Yeah.
Like there's the whole when the Oxfam in town, when you go in and on the left hand side there's a shelf. They usually the cards and stuff there. The whole thing was like the red noses.
From
Like,
history.
there's different ones. No, I don't know what. Just loads of different. They're in packets, aren't they? Because they had a big sign outside that like someone who walks with volunteers had written out like come in and pick your nose.
I don't really follow Red Nose Day
I
anymore.
bet Justin's got a few different sizes.
You don't have to follow it. It happened. Well, comic relief is a year-long thing, isn't it? But it's
Yeah.
Red Nose Day is where they have all the
Yeah.
entertainment bits on.
But I bet
Yeah.
you Justin's got a few. I bet he's got sponge and plastic.
I think he's
And
got a furry one as well.
I bet he's got a light up
I
one
haven't
as
got
well.
any.
With flashes.
Wish I had the furry one though. The furry one's cool.
I've always had quite a big nose. So the grabby thing, because remember they used to be just like hard plastic.
Oh yeah, they were
At
the
the very
first one.
beginning, you just used to sort of just jab it on because my nose is quite big,
Yeah.
quite flat. Never kind of worked, and I had to either just balance it and hold my head up a bit, or shove it really hard onto my massive nose, and it would just cut off circulation. So it would be really harsh. There was a furry one. I remember that was good. I remember there was a scratch and sniff book that you bought from any local shop. And you watched along with some interactive story.
Oh, right.
At the time, interactive TV was that, watching a programme, and then when they went, bing, smell 4.
Yeah.
Boot polish or something. It was like, oh, it really does smell like shoe polish.
What
Next,
are you getting out of that?
I did, well, the smell of shoe. I was in the story, mate. They were like, oh, it just smells like it smells like somebody's been polishing shoes in here. There was a lot of references, a lot of dialogue that didn't really belong in a TV show because of the scratch and sniff book.
Sounds crap.
Well,
You were asking earlier about the opposite of a polymath.
yeah,
I've tried to look it up. I'm on a website called wordhippo.com.
nice.
Yeah, it's a bit... I think we're pitching it way too high. Because it says, here's a list of antonyms for this word. Noun, specialist, which
Yep.
makes sense, right?
Yeah, of course.
But adjectives, uneducated, green, ignorant, immature, inexperienced, unsophisticated, stupid, and uninformed. So, I don't think there is a proper,
yeah.
give it all monomath, I think.
That's not what I meant, Tone. I
No.
meant monomath. I meant really, 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 really good at something.
Yeah.
One
Good.
thing.
Well, then you might want to change the wording there, because
No, specialist is fine for you, I think, Tone.
Yeah.
special.
You can know. In fact, it's perfect, isn't it? Yeah.
The Special.
The
Yes.
Specialist.
The S-Man.
That was a film with Sylvester Stallone, and you like him?
The Special. Yeah.
The Specialist.
The Special.
No, I don't think I've seen it.
Well, in 1984, Captain Ray Quick and Colonel Ned Trent, explosives experts working for the CIA, they're on a mission to blow up a car transporting a South American drug dealer. But when the car appears, there's little girls inside it with the dealer. Ray insists that they abort the mission, but Ned intends to see it through and allows the explosion to happen, resulting in the deaths of both the drug dealer and the girl.
Oof.
Angered by the girl's wrongful death, Ray savagely beats Ned and flees, effectively resigning from the CIA. Years later in Miami, Ray works as a freelance hitman.
Of course he does.
Cool.
Desperate people contact him via an internet bulletin board, and he takes the cases that interest him. Ray specialises in shaping his explosions, building and planting bombs that blow up only the intended target while leaving innocent bystanders unharmed.
Oh, I
Because
think
he's
I've seen it.
he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good hitman.
I have seen it. Yeah.
He's a good guy.
James Wood plays the other guy, Ned Trent, the evil explosives
I
guy.
think I've seen it.
James Woods.
Yeah, James Woods.
Have you seen John Carpenter's Vampires? It's got James Woods in it as a vampire hunter. Piece of shit.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's also got one of the Baldwins in it. It's pretty bad.
Oh.
Go back to Sylvester Stallone briefly.
Of course.
Copland.
Oh, I remember that.
That's the yeah.
Was the nail in the coffin before the Expendables, was it?
No, I don't think it's the name. It's weird actually looking at it. So he made Stop or My Mom Will Shoot in 92. In 93 they released Cliffhanger and Demolition Man. Then The Specialist, then Judge Dredd. Then Assassins. Remember that?
Yeah.
Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
96 Daylight, 97 Copland. But then it goes a bit, Ants, he was the voice actor in that. Something called Detox.
Nope.
Like D-TOX.
Nope.
2000 Get Carter. 2001 he did a film called Driven.
Oh.
Avenging Angelo. Spy Kids 3D Game Over.
Oh
As
God.
the toy maker. In 2004 he made a film called Shade. He played Dean Stevens. Whatever that means.
Oh my God.
Um,
A hitman in charge of a university.
Interestingly, I was very, very wrong because Rocky Balboa and Rambo they predate the Expendables by a number of years.
Oh yeah. Of course they do.
But
Yeah.
When that Rocky film was coming out, and
Yeah.
people were like, "Wow, what the fuck?" It's got to be not only his last movie, but what's he going to look like as Rocky? And now look at it, a third Expendables movie on DVD.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah, but mate, he does that.
well, have you seen what's coming this year?
Yeah. Of course he looks weird.
Have you seen what's coming this year? He's playing Rocky Balboa again.
Oh no, it's Apollo Creed's
It's
kid.
a film called Creed.
That's right. Yeah. He trains Apollo Creed's son, and then in an unprecedented turn of boxing, when Apollo Creed's son's getting his ass handed to him, he gets in the ring, and they say, "Well, there's no rules against it," and he kicks the other guy's ass.
Oh, that's a bit harsh on the other guy though. He doesn't
It's
get
a
any
shame
glory.
though. Adonis Johnson Creed, played by Michael B. Jordan, never knew his famous grandfather, world heavyweight champion Apollo Creed,
Grandfather.
who died before he was born. That's a bit of a shame, isn't it? I thought Carl Weathers. Was it Carl Weathers? Or am I
Yeah,
completely
yeah,
wrong?
yeah.
It was, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
of course it
I'm
was,
not
yeah.
just right. Okay, he's still about, isn't he?
Yeah.
Still, there's no
Yeah,
denying.
but Apollo Creed's dead.
Yeah, I know, yeah, but that's no because no. But my point is like they could have had him back and been in it as well because he.
That's who. Like flashbacks as Apollo Creed, or like as
Yeah.
the referee or something.
It's just a shame. Should be like
Terrible idea.
he tracks Rocky down and Rocky sees in Adonis the strength and determination that he had known in Apollo, the first rival who became his closest friend. He agrees to take him on, trains a young fighter, but even as the former champ, he agrees to take him on even though he's battling an opponent more deadly than any that he faced in the ring.
Cancer.
I don't know, gambling I reckon.
Cancer.
Gambling.
Gangsters, gambling. Like now he's gonna die.
Yeah,
but
what do you mean?
secretly
Yeah,
be
what do you
going
mean?
in the-
Hunt down Rocky Balboa in that universe is fucking famous. He not only is he Rocky Balboa, the fighter, he also came back and had a fight against the young kid who won on points. He track him down. He googled him.
Oh, he tracks him down
Right.
and asks him to be his trainer. That's what it says.
Tracks him down. Man, it took me ages to find your mansion.
It's not out until
Eh.
November, so we'll see.
I'm afraid Mr. Balboa isn't home. Can I take a message?
See why no one thinks of that like that, dude. That could have happened.
What's that?
Apollo Creed not really dead in the
Is Apollo Creed dead or not? Of course he is. Email us, thelast7podcast@gmail.com for no reason, because he's definitely dead. Or follow us on Twitter @thelast7 to register your agreement with the fact that Apollo Creed is dead in the film.
Has Carl Weathers been shortchanged? That's why.
That's a better question. Yeah.
Justice for Carl.
How would they get Apollo Creed into the new Rocky movie? Email us on the email address I just said, thelast7podcast@gmail.com, or follow us on Twitter @thelast7. Sarah Brightman, you know her, Tom? Ken?
Yeah, the singer.
The singer.
That famous When Time to Say Goodbye with Andrew Patel.
Yeah, that's right. And the Phantom of the Opera was written by her ex-husband Andrew Lloyd Webber as a kind of a tribute to her.
Oh, I did not know. I didn't know they were married or anything like that.
Yeah, they were. And she is enlisting his help now to write a song that she can sing in space.
Oh.
She's training in Russia, and she's going to go on an 11-day trip to the International Space Station and sing in space.
God, this stupid space thing. Why? Why'd you have to go to space to do that?
You don't have to go to space to do it.
Just
You
because
can
be
sing
the
on
first
Earth.
one to do it.
Yes.
But yeah, I think it's just to
So
Why?
what?
Why go to?
Is it
Why?
going to sound different? What's going to make this song so special?
In space, no one can hear you sing. That's the.
It is
So
a load
it's
of
gonna be a
bollocks, though,
silent
isn't it?
take.
Like, what is the actual thing that she's trying to first?
She is paid out of her own pocket $52 million to go and do it.
To do what though?
To go to the International Space Station, hang out for 11 days, and then come home.
Right. But she won't be the first to sing up there.
She'll be the first opera singer to.
Right. Is that
Sing.
what it is to be the first to do that?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
but I'm just thinking because that Chris Hadfield guy, he
Yeah,
had his
that's
guitar
right,
up there, didn't he?
Yeah,
It was
he's-
like,
Yeah, however good her performance is, it's not going to be as good as his. He's already smashed it, hasn't he, Chris
He
Hadfield?
was rocking it out,
Oh,
yeah.
if you don't know Chris Hadfield, he was the guy who did the Bowie covers on the International Space Station. I'll check some links up to him, because he's a proper hero.
Yeah, fucking right.
Love him, he's absolutely brilliant.
Not that, not to diminish it, I'm just saying, like,
Of course.
if it's, to be...
Yeah, no, there is
the
no
first
thing. The
anything.
first to sing is, or the first to sing properly.
It must be.
Is that
It
what
must be
they're gonna do?
their first professional singer to sing professionally in space.
Yeah, and as far as I know, the first
Non-professional
proper
astronaut.
tourist.
Yeah, non-professional astronaut on the...
Yeah.
Or not even astronaut,
There's
just...
going to be a lot of them.
holiday
Make
maker.
first, whatever. In
Yeah, but
in
how do you
space.
define it? Because there aren't, they're all astronauts once you're in space.
Yeah, true. What would you go into space to do? To be like the first to do in space? Because you say there's going to be a lot of them. Well, what would you pick? Because if you start now, you could probably do it.
Wow, what's been done?
Well, I think all the...
Loads.
I
You can't
think-
be the first to have a shit in space.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think all the bodily functions are covered, aren't they?
What?
Has
Like
anyone
getting pissed?
I don't know if anybody's done that, Ken.
What? Has
You know-
anyone had sex in space?
No.
No one has, have they?
No. Nobody's done a wank in space.
They must have done. It must have happened. It must.
No way. You're all like this close. You're closer than we are now. When you're asleep, when you're fucking eating. I was popping into the lunar excursion module to do some checks. Right. Yeah, I was in there doing checks yesterday. Yeah, I was meaning to talk to you about that. Maybe you should clean up after you do your checks. I'm just.
Trust me, Dan. They'll find a way. That's all I'm gonna say.
What about being like the first person to ride a bike in space?
Well, not bad. No one's taken a bike up there yet.
Yeah, exactly. Just ride your bike back and forward on the shuttle.
Yeah.
Or they could just let you out of the shuttle. You know, you just like pedaling. And they can just film you pedaling to space.
Just open the door. Little clicker on the fucking
The door,
belt. Up he goes. Quite a lot of a bike's function depends on friction though, doesn't it? So you wouldn't.
No,
wouldn't be
but you
moving
could.
with your own-
Yeah, but you could. If you just push off.
It would just
Yeah,
take
push
it.
up,
do it.
but it's the push that gives you the momentum.
Yeah.
Not riding the bike.
Yeah, but the illusion would be there. I think
Surfing,
that's what-
first person surf in space. just find a bit of water somewhere on another planet. Just get on there like.
Okay.
That would be a hell of an achievement. You'd be a
Even
first,
if it's just a puddle, just get on there with a little.
You'd still be a
surfboard
first
and
person
I'm
to
the
do that,
first person to-
Yeah.
first person to find water on another
I was going
planet.
to say, there's a lot of firsts that come before that.
What about dig a hole?
You can't dig a hole in space.
No,
Dig a
but
cave, make a cave, underground tunnels.
In space.
on a planet in space.
He's thinking his face is the same. Yeah, got it.
So,
On a
are we
planet.
thinking of just like being floating around in
I
space?
think so. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the thing is, what you're thinking of, though, like on the moon and Mars. Yeah, they must have technically dug holes because they've taken
Yeah.
samples of,
Well,
rocks.
they
and
did
sand.
quite
They
a lot,
must have done
like,
those
for
things where
instance,
you
I think it was
core
Alan
up.
Shepard, he played golf on the moon for the first time.
Yeah, drove around in his.
What about
Well,
dressing up as Superman and just floating around with the costume on?
That's tremendous.
That looked cool, wouldn't it?
Exactly. See, now you're getting in the spirit of it.
Yeah.
Now we're getting
Yeah.
somewhere.
What video do you want, to take home to your kids? Is it going to be you doing instrumentation checks and just floating about? You'd like to see it in space anyway, but if you could get that picture, it'd be quite a bulky Superman, I feel,
Yeah.
with the stuff on.
First person to do a striptease in space. Full Monty.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. I don't think
Because
it's
you
good
could
done.
you could use the gravity or the lack thereof
Yeah.
to your advantage, and you just like sort of spin a book in front of it,
Yeah.
like sort of move stuff around. Like I get some space rations. You take the shirt off, just turn around, quickly float around for the big reveal. It's just a somersault as the coin purse drops in first into shot. Good news this week for men around the world: first successful penis transplant.
I read about this briefly. I
Mhm.
think. South Africa.
That's right.
Do you get to pick what penis you want? Like what you want it to look like and stuff? And
I think it's a penis like in name only. I think they can sort of grow it vestigially on different parts of you, and then reattach it, or get it from a donor.
No one's donated a penis.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Even
Dead man's penis is the only penis that you get.
right, okay.
donor list. Yeah, I'll get rid of it. Yeah, but what's the point? Can I get rid of half? Keep half. I've been blessed, so and if anything, it's a hindrance to me, and you can have a 6.5 inch penis.
That'd be gross. I just think knowing that you've got someone else's winnie on you.
So, what was the background of this? Was it the guy's penis was, like, unfortunately cut off in an accident,
Yeah.
but they saved it and reattached it?
Yeah, penis injury.
That's not right, is it?
Followed by no, it's penis injury
Transplant
followed by
is-
transplant penis, like from a donor. And there's an argument about artificially grown penises. There was a biologist who made 6 artificial rabbits' penises and then attached them to rabbits as an experiment. Obviously, you had to cut off their original penises.
Oh, I thought you were going to say attached it to a human.
No, he did. He made 6 artificial rabbit penises, chucked them on 6 rabbits, and 4 of them mated successfully after that.
Cool.
Yeah. So the new wave of cosmetic surgery. Although you can get penis enlargements now, you can just get a whole new one. So I don't like it. I'm bored of it. Like a car, you can trade it in for a newer,
If
thicker
that's
model.
the case, then they don't even have to give you, when they give you a transplant, it doesn't even have to look like a penis. They can make it look like whatever you want it to look like.
What would you want it to
Well,
look
because
like?
all you need to be able to do with it really is piss. Because I'm sure that these people that had transplants will never get an erection again, right?
Well, yeah, I think part of it might be.
No, if you want
No.
a
Yeah.
fully functioning one, it's got to do the whole, got to do
Oh,
everything.
right, okay, well, fair enough. I'm just thinking if
You
it's
pump
there
it
just
up.
for pissing, then
If it's,
it can be anything, really.
yeah,
It
could
could
be
just be like,
Yeah, but you
Like,
said
you
like
can
anything
use-
you want. Why would you want it to look like anything other than a...
you could just use like the nose of someone that's died and just have that it's, like stitched to the end of your
Plus, you'd have two.
It's like a tap.
Two
No,
ends to your
anything,
urethra.
even just a finger of a thumb where they've just cut a hole straight through the middle, so you could just like piss
But
out
why
Or
would
the
you
hole
need-
through
why-
your thumb and then you chuck
anything, even
Why-
if it's just like a lamb's like a sheep
Why would you
hoof
need
or
anything then?
a sheep hoof. Well,
This
so
is
you
the
can carve
weird-
it, like
this
so you can whittle it when you're bored.
Yeah.
Just get a new one screwed on.
something. Surely it won't matter as long as it's the right shape and has a passage through it, so you can piss out of it.
Yeah, you're totally right. But Ken's saying if it's a penis transplant, then you'd want it to be fully functional. Are you saying if you couldn't get a boner, what you'd have it made out of?
I'm just saying, if you were old and you had to have a penis transplant and you knew you weren't going to use it for sex, it doesn't need to get, you don't need to get an erection. Then surely they'd just chuck anything on you, anything that's cheap,
What if you fancy a wank?
anything that's like cheaper to have done than having an actual replacement proper like
Yeah.
transplant.
Yeah, you're on about like sort of hooves.
Can you
of
imagine if you're
animals.
like, right, well, what's the cheapest thing you got? Oh, and they could just show you like a menu of all the different things you could have instead of an actual penis.
we used to do a lovely ivory, but of course they got to put a stop to that. But no, it's good. Yeah, mother of pearl, tartan. It's pretty popular. For the summer, we've got this, which is just an extension kit.
We've got this beak off a toucan.
If you
Or would
if
you
you
prefer
were
a flamingo beak?
Yeah.
if you were to have your gender reassigned,
I go
as in
female.
female to male, no, they'll give you. You get it. It look like a function one, but it's usually like it's got like a pump in it.
Right.
It's like a
Like one of those old water.
Oh, right, sorry, you're on about actual transgender who have like a synthetic penis put on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
There's a
no,
pump
it's like
in
a
one
pump
of the balls.
in one of the balls, like you
Oh, never.
like
Yeah.
that, and it pumps
Wow.
it up.
Wow.
Because they can't make like sort of blood vessels and that actually make it
No.
hard, so they can just mould it onto what was a vagina. And yeah, it's a pump on the butt. There was a great documentary
that's
about. It's called
creepy.
My Transgender Summer, I think.
Does it make a noise when it pumps?
Well, yeah.
Bit of clarity. This gentleman who had the penis transplant, it was a botched circumcision.
That is botched.
There's a lot of it in South Africa, a lot of the kind of traditional surgeons, and it was like an infection and so on. So he lost his penis
Okay.
3 years ago. Doesn't say where they're getting the penises from. Not in this article anyway. News 24 have got a headline: penis transplant surgeons inundated with requests.
Bespoke penis.
Bespoke.
That's what Tone wants. Lovely.
Do you check for lumps and stuff, Tom?
Yeah, every now and again.
we've
I
had
guess.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, I do every now and again.
Tone had that leaflet, didn't he, from the market?
So we did.
I
no,
do,
it's
but then
happened a lot.
sometimes I think, would I actually notice it? Like, what if it was like more subtle?
Yeah, exactly. So give it a good rummage is the only answer to that.
But I think it would hurt as well, wouldn't it, when you poke it?
But no, you can have no. It's not necessarily. You can have a lump that's someone else. You could have a cyst or something, and you go to the doctor and they say no, it's fine.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But it's important to check.
And that goes for you too, listeners. Always check your balls.
Oh, public health messages from Antonio now.
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
do more public health.
Yeah.
Clean your fucking teeth.
Yeah. Wash your hands.
Oh, there was a wicked thing I saw on the BBC News website. Terminator 2 inspired 3D printing. So they use light and oxygen at different pressures and volumes.
Yeah.
To oxygen, I think, softens the resin. It's a pool of resin, and it rises up like the T1000 did. And the oxygen, I think, keeps it as a liquid, and the light hardens it. So it's like that. Because he said the guy who invented it, who was at the TED Museum, I think he demonstrated it today or yesterday. He said 3D printing is kind of a misnomer, especially how it's used now, because it's 2D printing a lot. Whereas this is the actual moulding out of resin of a 3D image, and it looks incredible. Depending on the shape, it can be 100 times faster than conventional 3D printing.
Yeah.
At the TED talk, you think he did a ping pong ball or something the size of a squash ball. It took about 8 minutes.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible. Carbon 3D, it's called.
Bloody expensive, I'd imagine. Not many people can have that in
If
their
they're
house.
using light and oxygen,
Not many people can have that in this study.
and if
I
it
think.
takes a short amount of time, one would imagine it consumes less.
I use light and oxygen every day. There's a police appeal after a Yankee candle was stolen from a shop in Cambran. That's one of the top stories.
Fucking hell, that is a slow news day in
It
Cambran.
must be.
Yankee candle stolen. That's not.
They're quite expensive.
I know, and they're stolen quite a lot.
Yeah, because they're expensive.
That's right.
I seen someone nick one, mate.
Yeah?
Yeah, in Newport. Someone was running as I was walking past Clinton's. A lad was legging it out of there. I didn't think to stop him because I wasn't quite sure what was going. I wasn't quite sure if he just nicked something or if he was just in a rush to fucking get somewhere.
Yeah.
And then I saw like the chubby female like shopkeeper running out after him. Like,
They throw in those little details.
yeah, just like looking out of breath. She was like, "Oh, he just nicked something from you."
So, from present day crime to past awesomeness. This week in history.
Ooh.
This week, in 1954, this is kind of miscellaneous, but I thought it was amazing. Willie Mosconi pots 526 balls in a row during a pool exhibition at the East Billiard Club in Springfield, Ohio.
How many?
526. So he potted all the balls, all 15 pool balls. It was an American pool table, pockets are bigger, but so are the balls, and still quite a marathon. That record still stands today.
Wow.
Happened in 1954.
That's cool.
Not many records.
How close is he to the pocket though?
What do you mean? It's a pool table.
No, I know, but was he just shooting like directly in front of the?
You've played pool before, haven't you?
Yeah, but was it just in a game? Oh, sorry, I thought you meant like he just sort of had a big barrel of balls and he was just on one end of the table.
I was
and
going
he
to
just
ask
kept
that.
shooting one after the other. Just kept going to see how long he could
No,
go
I think
for
that
until
was
he
the
missed.
record attempt. I think it was just like he potted all the balls, but then they were re-racked, and then wherever he was on the table, he could just.
Oh, right, so it wasn't just like, oh, place the ball wherever I want and shoot, and then another one just shoot.
It'd have been better if he was just like someone just kept putting the ball there and he just. You could beat it easy with that.
Yeah, you could do a speed record
For
with
some
that.
reason, that's what I had in my head when you were describing it.
No, I think it was a record attempt.
That's even more impressive anyway, what you're
But
saying.
yeah, since 1954, and it's not like other records that won't be broken, like sports records, because there are some baseball records that will never be broken because of the length of a season back in the day and how many teams there were that played and how often, you know, a player's longevity, for instance. So
God, can you
there's
imagine
a few sort of sporting records that can never be broken. But
imagine how gutted he was when he missed the last one.
he's probably really tired.
It's like, damn it. I could have gone forever.
This week in 1962, Bob Dylan releases Bob Dylan debut record.
I was listening to Blonde on Blonde this evening before coming over.
All right, excellent.
Yeah, it's a good album.
Favorite track?
It's a really good one. I like Just Like a Woman. And that's on there.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
this is a good track.
Yeah, no, I like him, but I just mean he's not someone I've ever got into and explored, and you know, I know all the
all the most well-known ones.
yeah, exactly, yeah, but like you know,
A lot of his songs don't even sound like songs. Don't even sound like music. He's just like talking basically, like his poet, like his lyrics are like really meaningful and like political and stuff of like sort of the time, but they're not. He's not really singing. He's just kind of like talking, and he's never really been a good singer.
no.
And he's shit now. So don't, if he's still going now, but don't ever go watch him.
He
It's just a massive disappointment, I was told.
he
Really
makes
gutted if you like him.
creates
I'll never listen to him again.
he
Anyway,
creates sculpture as well, doesn't he? You ever
Is that
seen
right?
Yeah, he like metal. I'll find some images. He,
Yeah, we'll get a link up to him as well.
No, he
Excellent.
creates like his huge workshop from like scrap iron and metal, and
Oh wow, I
he
had no
creates
idea.
huge. I think it's particularly better than like say with Anthony Hopkins painting.
Oh
Remember that?
yeah, that was
is he
amazing.
a good artist, Anthony Hopkins, or
Not
is
really.
No, it was just
was it awful?
No, it was because no, it wasn't that off, but it's just because he's Anthony Hopkins and he like to dabble and fuck around with some, some paint, and then
Yeah,
some
elephants
galleries
and
like
shit.
Yeah,
you have it.
exactly. That's
yeah.
what I'm thinking. Just because he's in a position to get it.
There were
like,
purple elephants on
no.
it, weren't there? On one of them.
Yeah, one was of an elephant.
Fucking
He's just
cool.
like, yeah, I don't, I'm a petite star, I just do whatever,
He's
comes.
doing
But
that to take the piss, isn't he? Just because he knows that.
yeah,
people
he's on
will,
like a
come
lovey,
and
and
view
then,
it and
then
shit.
the
He's just having to entertain himself.
No,
with
they
it
weren't
by-
terrible, man. If you had it up in your
Chatting
house,
shit about
I'm sure
art.
people would like it. Chat shit about
I
art.
hate it when they try and make it sound like what I don't get about art, right? What is the point in painting something that is supposed to be interpreted in all these different ways if the fucker looking at it doesn't see jack shit other than what it is? Like you said, you drew a purple elephant. I'm sure that purple elephant had meaning. There was something about it. Why was it purple? But if it was me looking at it, or you look at it, you'd just be like, it's an elephant, that's purple.
well, not necessarily.
So
why
why paint
why
something?
assume it had meaning though?
No, but what I don't get, where's the pleasure in that for the artist? Where's the pleasure in painting something that's full of all these hidden messages if the people that are supposed to find those messages don't find them? Where's the fun?
They might do.
It's like, I wouldn't write a play and perform it unless, if I didn't think that people weren't going to get the message in it.
But how do you know?
Huh?
How do you know if they get it or not?
Yeah, you seem very condescending towards an audience, though.
Well, if someone, right,
He got serious now.
painted a picture
Right.
of just a red dot and maybe like, I don't know, like a couple of like yellow lines
Yeah.
going through it
There's
as well.
plenty of
There's
them.
plenty. There's
Yeah.
loads of people have done that, mate.
Yeah, and that's supposed to
the
mean
hair
something.
stops.
How the hell can they expect anyone else to know what it meant if they weren't the ones that came up with this random shit?
Well, doesn't
that
it?
they just-
Maybe it doesn't mean anything. Maybe it's to the very base point, and maybe it's just pleasing to look at.
I think it's really gay. I hate how much. I hate how.
Really gay.
I hate. I think it's ridiculous, and I think it's like a fucking massive like fraud as well. Like it's like you're ripping, you're ripping people off as well. Like, people spend a lot of money to go into art galleries to look at shit. And how can you justify that?
We only
Well, it's
spend.
up to
We
them
spend.
to justify it for
Yeah.
going in there, isn't it?
How the fuck can you justify selling it for thousands of pounds?
We went to the Van Gogh-
Tone, I'm sure if you could do, I'm sure if you could sell something like that for thousands of pounds, the kind
Right,
of thing
okay,
you're
fine, I'm
describing,
gonna go-
then you would, and
Fine.
that is why you would do
When
it.
I go tonight, I'm gonna get a fucking piece of paper and I'm gonna glue Prick Stick, yeah,
seen your
half
art,
a
mate.
bog roll on it, make out there's some sort of meaning to it. Maybe chuck some fucking tomato ketchup on this, so it dries, or like it's like a big like blotch of it on there.
Now we're talking.
Maybe chuck a few nuts on there, crumble up some almonds, throw that on there, yeah, and then go to an art gallery and
Why-
say, look at this piece of art I've made. It's all about the war in Iraq. Yeah, they're gonna go. This is interesting. Yeah, we'll put it up, and I bet you some idiot will come along and want to buy it for like 500 quid.
Maybe.
Why don't you do it then?
Because I think it's stupid.
So there you go. So you don't think it'd work?
Why food as a medium though? Food
Yeah,
and toilet roll.
Mm.
Well, why exactly? Doesn't matter, does it?
Well, yeah, you'll have to
Someone's
answer
gonna
these
look at it and go,
questions.
No, but that's what
I
people will
reckon the
ask you.
crumbled almonds symbolise people of the East, Eastern culture.
Well, maybe they would, but
What? The ketchup symbolises Britain.
the thing
and
is,
it's love
it's
for
not.
fish and
What
chips.
you got to think is that we've had hundreds of years of people painting descriptive pictures and people painting scenes from myth and
Yeah.
biblical
Do you like
stories
landscapes?
and
Yeah,
That's
that's
scenarios.
different though. I
Then
don't
landscapes,
No,
no,
that's what
but
you say.
listen, right? We've had hundreds of years of people doing that. There's not loads to be mined anymore. So people come along and they want to do things. They want to interrogate the forms and what they can do, and they take
That's
things and strip them down and further. Think about, all right, in terms of theatre, think about Samuel Beckett.
Yeah.
My
Do
favourite
you know what I mean?
art.
He just kept stripping away and stripping away and stripping away, and then what's he left with? I mean,
Talking heads, literally.
yeah, or like Breathe or something like that.
What Ken just said about art being descriptive, essentially, portraits, biblical scenes, frescoes, sometimes a bit imaginative. But since the dawn of photography, man, there's no need. You can
Well,
you can have an
yeah,
impression.
but
So you can have an
you can do
impression
that
of a
exactly.
landscape.
So art should have just stopped there. Ended there.
No.
No, you don't believe this, man.
The problem you've got as well, Tone, is that art is so
No.
art is so malleable and so all-consuming that it will consume your own attempts to a parody.
Yeah.
I think
Because
it's
your
nice.
your work could be taken as like, oh well, he's trying to position himself as attacking the art world and
Yeah.
artistic
It's
projects.
nice when they make art using different materials. So when they're not using like paint or they're not.
So food and toilet roll.
Well.
Is that the whole thing?
There's
Are you,
that'll
are
just
you,
be minging and rot and it'll sting.
Well,
It'll be
you
horrible.
said-
It
you
won't
said-
last very long. But I mean, like
said
when
ketchup
people
and
make,
almonds.
When people make art, like pictures out of like coins and stuff.
I thought he was talking
Or
about
like-
a commentary on life and life cycles. I thought it was ketchup to look like blood, but like it was like food as well, and they had the empty toilet roll, which was like shit. Like you had a whole.
I'm all about actual paintings
Cool.
now that I think should just stop.
So stop saying art then. Say paintings. 'cause
Paintings.
art is
Stop with the stupid
Yeah,
paintings.
I mean, I'd say art is everything.
just random
but-
shapes and colours that just don't. They just look like shit, and anyone can make them. Just stop it.
Again, that's not really true, though, is
no,
it?
because not everybody does.
Oh my god.
No, but for me,
Does that-
like art is always like a critique. There's always a critique in. Like that's the ultimate question. That's what you want to be asking yourself when you're looking at someone. Where's the critique?
Oh, Antonio, we've got some questions.
I was unprepared. I was going to join in, and then I realised I had the wrong,
When you got for me,
Should
boy.
worry about it, mate.
lyrics.
2 more listeners from Cardiff, mate.
Yeah.
Mike and Julian.
Hello, Mike.
and Julian.
Oh.
Sorry, go on, Tom.
Lackluster. Cheers, Mike and Julian, for sending these in. We've got a couple.
Sorry, what radio DJ have you come as? What's going on? It's 7:05 in the morning.
Okay, guys, it's 23 minutes past 9 in the evening. We're on a Tuesday. It's been a bit of a cold day. We've got a couple of questions of tone coming in from Mike and Julian in Cardiff. Thanks, guys. Big shout out. It's time for a question of tone. Do you have any weird scars? How did you get them?
I can't remember what elbow it's on now. Is it on that elbow? Yeah, I got a scar on my left elbow from when I was maybe about 9, and my mum was doing some baking, and I kept like nicking some of the like.
Dough.
Yeah, it was like the dough. I was putting my finger
Cake
in it.
mix?
The cake mix, and I was purposely winding her up. She was getting annoyed. She was telling me to stop it because I was going to hurt myself because she was trying to like use a knife and all this kind of stuff.
Oh,
and I
no.
kept getting in the way. So she kept warning me, stop it now, stop it, you're going to get hurt. And I was like purposely like winding up and stuff. She was cutting something up, and I was purposefully trying to get my hand in like that kind of that was close by. And she she always says I tell it wrong, but she went to slap my arm to get it away, but she accidentally hit me with the wrong side of the knife.
The wrong side of the
Yeah.
knife.
When she tells you,
Oh god, she's gonna hate this
The wrong
because
side of the
she's
knife.
gonna hate
but
this
no.
because I always forget what
yeah,
her.
when she
what
says
her-
that you tell it wrong, is that the point that she did it on purpose to teach you a lesson?
No, she tries to. She
No,
says.
I wouldn't suggest that. Yeah, that your mum did that.
She says that she was doing something with the knife, and just as she
Cutting
was
you
doing
for your
it,
fucking sheep.
I put my arm in the way. It's really funny because now I always, as a joke, I sometimes bring it up and say, "Yeah, you cut me when I was younger."
Funny jokes, sir.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Always hilarity in
But
the
yeah, I
household.
I haven't really got apart from a couple of scars on my face from where my younger brother used to bite my face.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, they are weird scars.
Yeah.
I haven't got anything weird though.
All inflicted by your family.
Yeah. I've got a scar. I've actually got a strange one. It's more like it is. It's more like a burn scar from when I was in uni, and it's just above my my ass cheek, just above where my bum, the slit of my ass between my two cheeks
Alright.
starts. I used to have quite a bit of hair by there.
On your ass.
Yeah,
Right.
and
Well, you're quite a bit here everywhere.
when
haven't you?
Justin during uni, when Justin caught on that I'd had this little tuft of hair coming out of my from one of my bum cheeks, he kept saying, "Oh, come on, man, come on, Tone, let us just singe some of your
Let's just set you on fire.
let's just singe some of your hairs off." I was like, no way. Anyway, they managed to grab one of them. Grabbed me. It was Craig Finney. I remember he grabbed me and held me like whilst Justin already had the lighter and an aerosol can ready, and he just sort of fired the aerosol with the flame in front of it towards my ass, and fucking managed. I had this massive scar on my ass afterwards for ages. It fucking killed. I was pissed at the time, so good job. It was would have hurt more.
Yeah.
But yeah, hair never really grew back.
So let me get
properly.
this straight. They got you drunk, and one of them held you down, and they pulled your trousers off.
Let's set fire to you.
Yeah, one of them sort of kegged me, quickly kegged me, and while just
Kegged?
yeah, pulled them down while
Yeah.
just in fucking
Ah, sorry, right, okay.
Get rid of your kegs.
yeah, while just in
Kegged. I know that ages.
fired me with this
Well done.
flamethrower that he'd created.
Who needs enemies, right?
Yeah, what a cunt.
Brings us on. Brings it on nicely.
Yeah.
How did you meet your best friend?
Yeah, well, I met Justin at uni.
Hey. Oh.
Yeah, I
Cunt.
met him at uni, and I remember the first conversation we had where we really got to know each other was all about the film Donnie.
Please,
I can't remember the name of the film.
Donnie Darko or
Donnie
Donnie
Darko.
Brasco?
Yeah, no.
I was thinking exactly that.
No, I know. I remember we had that first conversation we ever had was about the film Donnie Darko, just bumming it, talking about how much we loved it and stuff.
You started off that?
Huh?
Do you like Donnie Darko? Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like
really
two
good.
little kids, yeah.
I think I
You can
started.
just picture
I
them as
think
well,
I
couldn't you?
started it. I started the conversation.
Basically, Justin had these wicked Transformers that I
Yeah.
wanted to have a go at.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, have you seen Donnie Darko?
Well, yeah. Well, I remember, but I
Yeah.
was thinking, right? Oh, yeah, we're doing performing arts, so I'll talk about a film or something, because you'll get on board with that.
What is something you've always wanted to try but have been too scared to?
Deep sea diving, but
Yeah.
I'm just too afraid of it. Nah, it just scares me too much. The idea.
Scuba
of it.
diving. Right?
Yeah, man.
Why does it scare you?
No, not scuba, so you said deep sea.
Oh right, yeah. See what you mean?
Yeah, deep sea diving, scuba diving, right? Deep sea
Well, no.
diving.
Scuba diving is like where you've just got a self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, And deep sea diving is where you get in those like bubbles and shit and go to the Mariana Trench.
Yeah, the pressure's like, well, not necessarily you go to the bottom of the North Sea, can
Oh
you? But
right,
it's like
no,
the
not
pressure
that
thing.
then, not that, but
All right, but proper with a canister of.
yeah.
Yeah, right, okay.
I just
Like
mean,
air
like I'd love the idea. I wish I wasn't afraid to do it, but I'm quite nervous about being underwater. Just too scared.
Of what?
Sharks?
No, just not knowing what's around you. Yeah, I guess kind of like sharks. Yeah, the unknown,
scared
the
of the-
unknown, like what could be down there that could potentially harm you.
Right, okay.
I don't like it. I panic because I think I have like a bit of a claustrophobic reaction to it, like where I feel like enclosed, not safe.
In the vastness of the ocean.
Mm.
I know what you mean though, in the mask.
Yeah.
You're relying on something else to
And there
breathe.
was something else I was going to say before I thought of that. Something else. Oh yeah, I think it was just LSD. Genuinely,
What scares you about LSD?
just how my body might react to it. I think it's that fear.
Quite.
Like like same with magic mushrooms. I guess I would love the idea of like just to sort of experience that kind of like trip that I might have on it. But it's the fear of it being a bad trip is too much for me to ever risk doing it.
Yeah, good call. Last one for this round of Question of Tone. Do you have any hidden talents? Hidden
I
talents for
doubt
people listening. I might know them, but for all anybody else knows, you're an actor / greengrocer. So is there anything else that you can do?
I'm not a very talented person. There's not much I can do.
I disagree.
It's quite sad really. I can't think of. No, I really can't. Other than cooking, I'm a pretty good cook. But damn it, there must be something. I must have some talents. And you made me really depressed now.
They're hidden even from yourself.
Cheers for uncovering those secret talents, both
Sorry.
Mike and Jules.
Sorry.
Can I call you Jules? I think I will. And now, to finish up on some culture, with Ken's
beautiful.
Literary Salon.
Beautiful.
Dear Hunter.
It's been an interesting. I'm off work again.
Bastard.
This whole week, so
Ooh.
it's
I'm
been a
back
bit
in
of a.
tomorrow, man. Fucking hell.
It's been a bit of a bumper one. A bit.
Have you done any reading while you've been off?
Yeah.
Mr. Men books?
TV guys. Some newspapers right here.
Yeah, there is the arrangement of newspapers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is
Wow.
that for show or have you
For a
actually?
fact, that is. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
right,
like,
okay.
Wow.
Because
Got
yeah, you
about
haven't
4
referred
different
to them
newspapers there.
during this, have you?
Nope. No, I've not.
Anyway, yeah, just to say off work, so it was a bit of bumper week. Finished 4
books.
books. Read one today. Read Search Warrant by Patrick Modiano. Oh, I think it's also called Dora Bruder. I think that's the proper title of it, but for some reason the current edition in English is just called The Search Warrant. Yeah, that was quite that was an interesting book. It's about. See, it's interesting as much as I don't know if it's actually fiction or not. It's sold as a novel, and Patrick Modiano won the Nobel Prize for Literature
Holy shit.
last year, the 2014 one. So he's the last sort of laureate
Yeah,
for
that's cool.
literature. So he writes fiction, but this book is about finding a notice about a girl called Dora Bruder going missing in Paris in 1941, 1942, and his his investigation sort of into his growing obsession with her and what happened to her. And it's more about his interest is in the sort of gaps, you know what I mean, in the not knowing, well, who was this person, who was she, and a young Jewish girl in Paris in the 1940s. I mean, he uncovered that she did go to Auschwitz, but she didn't go there. She was deported to Auschwitz,
Sure.
and murdered there. But it's like it's one of those kind of, it's a really slim volume. I think it was about 140 pages.
All right.
It's a slow, but beautifully written kind of, just sort of questioning about, these kind of gaps and this kind of attempt to wrestle and I don't know, to come to terms with the fact of not knowing things. There's no massive reason for why he's obsessed with this one particular story and that there's one particular girl. I wouldn't even say it's necessarily an obsession, and it could be one of many, but for some reason it's like, yeah, this book that, so you're kind of wondering, like, did he just make it all up, or is it just one of the most realised bits of fiction ever, because it's totally believable,
Yeah.
because it's all like him finding records and telling you, like, oh, and reproducing, like, this is a logbook from this police station, do you know what I mean, where she was like picked up and she went to this camp, and you know what I mean, and she's released and her parents lived here and this building still exists but these ones don't. And
Who you say, even if
So
it
is it just the story of this girl that's told through this search warrants to this sort of like
Well, no,
random of like clues? And stuff?
it's his, it's not even that, he's not trying to like realise it and trying to write her life as a fiction, it's just about him, you know, it literally starts off
the
like,
process of finding out about this book.
yeah, like it quite literally starts off of saying like, oh, I was reading this newspaper and this notice caught my eye, and like, yeah, just going on through that, and it's like all his memories of like, well, you get picked up in, the police used these type of vans at the time and they still use them in like the 60s, and I remember I was in one once and this was the circumstances, and it just, yeah, it's
you see the brilliantly realised fiction, because the research you need in order to make it believable, or make it as believable as you describe it, if it was lifted from an existing story, a true story, it must be something very similar.
yeah, well, loads
Yeah.
of things similar, yeah. I mean, there's another book that's quite like it but in a different way, which is a book called Austerlitz by W.G. Sebald, which was all about that was kind of written as like a lot of Sebald's work. It was written like I met this guy and he was telling me the story of his life like this, and it's all about, you know, memory, and it's a kid who like was like a sort of immigrant, like sent to live in the UK basically, and live with his family in Wales, but has kind of vague memories of his life prior to that. And then it's like him investigating, so it's like Sebald meets this guy several times and uncovers more and more of the story as it's told to him about trying to, you know, remember his mother and find out what happened to her and so on. But yeah, I mean, the interesting thing about the search warrant is just that question, but I haven't like Googled it to find out.
Right,
you know what I mean?
okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why, but it's like, in a weird way, the book's about not knowing things and trying to find out, but then perhaps that bit where as a novelist he doesn't want to just he wants to fill in the blank space, but he doesn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And about resisting that, and in a weird way, like it puts, you know, you as a reader in a position where you're like, is this true or not, and should I try and find out? Like, where he's sort of different from someone like Sebald is that, say, there's references to photos and he describes photos. Like I think he's got 3 photographs of her
Right.
that he's managed to uncover, whereas in the Sebald he would just put the photographs in the book. And he's one of the things that W.G. Sebald was famous for. But in this sense, it's like, well, in this day and age, 2015, I could easily. This book was published in 1997, by the way.
Right.
I could easily like just Google it and see, do these photos actually exist, and look at them and perhaps see even more. I don't know. But yeah, I yeah.
Sounds excellent.
I mean, it was really really nice. I quite enjoyed it. Yeah, and the things it made me think of, which I guess is what the point of this is, and the point of, you know.
Book 2.
The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebald.
Oh, right.
Read that finally. Probably people listening to this be thinking, well, have you not read that already? But yeah, there's a film adaptation of that, isn't there?
Yes,
Peter
yeah,
Jackson. That's what the lady. I picked it up in the charity shop in town.
She said there's a film of this, you know?
No, she was like, that's good. That's a good one. That is. Have you seen the film? I was like, no, and you know, took the book off her 40 pence. Fucking good deal.
Yeah, damn straight.
It's it's a beautiful book. Have either of you seen the film or read the book?
No, neither.
Do you know what it's right? It's about this girl. I can't remember. She's 13 or 14, but she's murdered, and it's like in her afterlife, in her heaven, and she like watches like her parents and people, you know, involved in her life,
Right.
as life, you know, kind of continues as they grow up, and yeah, like it's sort of like things about the man that actually kills her, and yeah. the sort of fallout from like seeing the effects of the her murder has on
That's
family
cool.
and so
That's
on.
interesting.
It's beautifully realised. It's fascinating book. I don't know. It's a difficult one to. I don't have loads to say about the other books really that
That's
I'd read,
okay.
including this one. But I mean, I'd recommend it to anybody because it's wonderfully
Do you think it's easier to try and write from that perspective because, as far as we know, it doesn't exist and you've got a lot more freedom, or do you think that freedom is in a way restrictive because you have to set your own rules?
Yeah, but that's good.
Well,
'cause
you
the
said-
rules can be anything.
You have to take great pains to stick with them as well, though, if you want to.
Yeah. You have to remember where.
That's why people want it. That's what people dig up plot holes all the time because it's that difficult when you're trying to realise a story.
Yeah, that's the point of world building, isn't it?
Yes,
you want the it doesn't matter how outlandish someone is, you just want a set of consistent rules, don't you? Like a sort of logical consistency to it that
There's a confirmation for the reader in that sort of structure as
Yeah.
well, you know? That's why you like Lord of the Rings, man.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if you're doing something based on actual true events, you have to really do your research. Whereas if you're doing something else like completely fictitious, you could just go wild with your
But there will, regardless of how much it is, there will be a finite amount of research. So you could possibly do a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean it's
You could become an expert in something, but to make something up, you have to impose your own.
it's
rules.
not it's
Yeah,
not
you have to have thought that world through properly.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's interesting because it's not so much about the sort of the world building of this idea of heaven. There is there's bits in it. There's nice details here and there about like you can see souls leaving bodies and going up to the heaven, and so around like certain like around hospitals, hospices, you see them. Do you know what I mean? A more higher concentration of them shooting out and stuff. But it's not really like that's a tiny detail. It's like rather than just being like a disembodied sort of narrator voice, the narrator's like a ghost, and so watching, invisibly. But there are points at which, like characters like the younger brother sees her at times because he's like 4 years old when she.
Right. Okay.
But it's a book about. It's like sort of after a really traumatic event, essentially, is what it's about. Like a child being murdered. So you've got the parents. There's a sister who's like a year younger than her, and then there's a brother who's only 4, and there's like, because she's of such an age that like she's kissed this one boy and so it follows him, and then there's this girl that she already spoke to who's a bit odd, and it just follows their lives and what happens. So it's not, do you see what I mean? It's not like about like, oh, when you go to heaven you get this and that. I mean, there is a thing of like details of like what your heaven looks like and the way that some heavens overlap. So there's a lot of her world is constructed around like being at the sort of school, and then there's the high school that she's gonna go to, which is this distant place, and then like some heavens overlap. So if yours was about like, I don't know, shot put, say, you'd be shot put in a field and you'd be seen. Do you know what I mean? Like it's weird like that. There's heavens for everything if you think about it.
Yeah, it would be weird if shot put was the first activity they went for.
No, but whatever,
I
you
know
know
what
what I
you
mean.
mean, man.
If you were I was just trying to think
Anything.
of some track and field type thing that wasn't just so you weren't just running past, but But it's
Triple jump. All the sports.
I mean, Alice Sebold's quite well known because there's another. Alice Sebold's published 3 books. There's The Lovely Bones and The Almost Moon, and there's a memoir she published first called Lucky, because Alice Sebold was like quite violently like raped and beaten in 1980, 1981 when she was a sort of college student, and it's, a lot of people position it that like her writing's all about a sort of tribute to that split between the person she was before and the person afterwards. You know what I mean? Like as if this kind of girl who died, and it's like
Yes,
The Lovely
yeah.
Bones is kind of. So if you think about it, the whole novel's about, post trauma and coming to terms with, and recovering from trauma essentially.
Of course. Yeah.
But it's hinged around this device of like being, a ghost, essentially, so that you can, be there in the room invisibly and.
Yeah, I like the
just kind
sound of these type of stories.
I like the sound of it. I like the sound of the therapeutic benefit that I hope it provided.
It's and it's wonderful.
Excellent. On that, rather highbrow note, guys. Very proud of this podcast. It's been subdued, but fucking interesting. I'd like to thank my
Hopefully.
co-participants. What?
Hopefully.
Hopefully interesting.
Yeah.
So I'd like to thank my co-participants for this week, Antonio Romola
Thank you.
and Kenneth Trainer.
Thank you very much, Dan.
See you next week, Justin. Continuing source of inspiration. Good night.
Yeah, have a think, Justin, about some of the things that you can do to sort of, up your game a bit. Justin! Don't switch off yet. Don't switch off yet.